Are we all here? So we are talking about research methodologies. What are the research methods? Okay, somebody has typed something. Yes, interview. Susan, thank you very much. Interview. Doris, which one do you want to say? We again. Becky, you are there. Victoria is just joining us. Judy. So what are the types of research method? You know about questionnaire. Questionnaire is used for quantitative research, and then we have qualitative and quantitative. These are the two types, and each of these types, they have different methods you can use for them. So, and as I mentioned earlier, there's nobody in this class that doesn't or that has not done research in one way or the other. Maybe during undergraduate, you have an assignment, or even during your postgraduate, you have done assignments, or you have done a task. You must have used one research method or the other. So now let me quickly share my PowerPoints, then we can start fully. Okay, where is my PowerPoint? Okay, yes. So as I mentioned, today we are looking at the use of participant observation and content analysis research methods. And at the end, you will be having a task whereby you are going to reflect on professional practices. I don't know if you have been given your topics already or you have selected your topic. Your topic will focus on how you can use this one, how you can analyze, how you can do a research that reflects on your professional practice, what you do as public relations officers, what you do as a communication officers, are the things you are going to work on as a task. And being equipped with all these skills, all these selected method, participant observation, and also the research method, the content analysis will help you. I know it has been streamlined that you have to make use of these two research methods. So my PowerPoint, my projector is not moving. What happened? Okay, yes.
Doctor, just a
yes.
minute.
Okay.
I'm seeing the call is being live streamed on YouTube. The class is being live streamed on YouTube. I just wanted to know what the
private is a private YouTube, which I do. It's not open to everybody.
It's a private YouTube. You're the one live streaming.
I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one.
Oh, okay, so
yes, for my consumption.
Okay.
So I'm the one. Thank you for noting that. Oh, apology. As culture, I should have told you that I live stream for myself for my recording on the private. It's not an open one, and which I can also share with you. You can watch it later on your own. Is that allowed, or do you permit that, or I should not? Is your right, but it's not open to everybody. Is that okay? Your consent?
I guess it's okay if you're the one doing it. I just thought it was happening without.
No, it's not a case. It's not a case. I'm the one. Thank you very much for that. Is observation we are talking about, because we are working and you are involved. You to observe what is happening. It's part of what we are saying. Some people don't observe, and the reason why you observe this is, the hackers may do this, by taking over our meeting, but yeah. So the objective of this lecture is to use data analysis to develop a thought leadership articles. Actually, that is the end goal. At the end, you'll be working on, you'll be doing an article, you'll be writing article, developing article, not article that you just go online to download. That's plagiarism. It's an article that you will do, and even when they put it on Turnitin, a software for plagiarism, they will not see 100% or 80% similarity. So it's for you to develop original content of your own. And the fact is this: if you develop these skills very well, in case you want to go further and do some more academic work, or like maybe a master program or a PhD, it will be easy for you. It's the same thing. The same method we use in PhD research is what I'm also telling you now. So that is the objective. At the end of this lecture, you should be able, this lecture should be able to help you, to enhance you, empower you to be able to do a better research. Yes, I can see Becky say mixed research methodology. Yes, you can have mixed method. You can combine both the qualitative and quantitative together to form a mixed method research, and using a lot of other research. So now, okay, I don't know why my PowerPoint is hanging. Okay, good. So it's moving now. When we say research, as you all know, research, recheck over and over again. What is a research? Research is a creative or systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. Why do we do research? We want to increase stock of knowledge. You want to know more about something. You want to dig deep, a particular information. That is research. And let me see. Sorry, what is happening? Okay. Okay, so I think it's somehow slow. And as I mentioned, I was talking about research. I think I have more definitions which I've highlighted there. Okay, yes. And again, research also involves the collection, the organization. It involves the collection. It involves organization of ideas. My PowerPoint is misbehaving. I don't want to stop it. Maybe let me just escape it and see if it's going to be better now. Okay. It involves the analysis of content. It involves collection and also of information. Then understanding of a topic or issue is very, very paramount when you are carrying out research. You cannot just do a research that you don't understand. That's the reason why we have something called literature review. Under literature review, what we do there is to see what has been written about what you are working on, what other people have done about those things. What is the input? What is their result? So that one will guide you to be able to do more and get better results. So a research project may be an expansion of the past work. Definitely, there's no new thing in the world. No new thing. Whatever you are trying to do, somebody has done it before. So what you do about those things is to expand on it. And when we're talking about research, the key ingredient of research is data. Because whether it is qualitative or quantitative, what you work on is data. It may be qualitative data, which is in numbers, in figures, and also it will be qualitative. Qualitative is like themes, what people have said, so it could be, that's data. You cannot eliminate data from research. So, and we can see from this study, we are looking at two contents or two type of data collection method. Number one, it is participants observation. You can collect data using this method. It is the observation, particularly participants observation, has been used in a variety of disciplines as a tool of collecting data about people, about process, and about culture, in a qualitative way. So when you do participant observation, it is not for quantitative research. It is for what? It's for qualitative. I believe, do you understand the difference between qualitative research and quantitative? Talking about qualitative research is dealing with content that you read, like readable content, or you observe, you know, but we're talking about quantitative. Quantitative is a research method or research types that you collect data using survey, and you do the analysis, you know, in numbers, and you make presentation maybe in bar chart, and some other things. Then other one we're going to look at in this work is the content analysis. Content analysis is a research tool used to determine the presence of certain words, themes, or content within some given qualitative data. So here you have done the participant observation, you have done interview, and you have the content. So after that, you take a step further to analyze this content using what is called content analysis method. It's done in themes. For example, you can see how many female are present in this research. How many times is fake news mentioned in this work? You start counting all this. The counting of those words will help you to be able to see, oh, how important have they laid or have they put on this work you are doing? So now, let's look at the first one, which is a participant observation. You can see we can have participant observation, as you can see here. We can also have non-participant observation. You can see the difference. Who can explain what is the difference between these two, even looking at the diagram? Yes. Participant observation, and also we have non-participant observation. So how can you describe it? Just looking at the diagram. Yes. Who's going to help us with this? Judy, over to you. Esther, are you with me, please? It seems as if people are not here. If I mention your name, if you don't want to say anything, just say, oh, maybe you don't understand it, so I can get another person so I can explain. I want you people to participate in this class. Doris, are you there? So do you understand this picture? What can you say about this in your own words? Okay, Joanne, are you there? I want to be sure. Okay, please, I think to be sure that, okay, somebody is raising hand. Pauline, over to you. You can answer that question. Pauline, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pauline.
From my understanding of the diagrams, the first diagram, participant observation, the researcher is involved in the activity that is researching about. And in the non-participant observation, the researcher watches from a distance. So it's not part of the activity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can see that first one, as Doris mentioned, thank you so much, Doris, is that the researcher is highly involved in the activity, part of that activity. But the other one, the researcher is not, you know, it is somewhere observing. But the first one, you can see, is observing, but is part of the team. They work together. Even at times, they not even know that he's a researcher, you know. So with that one, they are able to put in their best and so on and so forth. So let's look at the other one. Okay. This is the definition based on that. Participant observation is a research method that provides valuable information about social and cultural relationship of a group or community over time. You can see, observation is not what you do, just, oh, I just do it in a day. It's over time. You know, it's a research method that provides valuable information about the social and cultural relationship over time. And mostly they use participant observation in anthropology. I believe you know anthropology, the study of culture. You know, at times somebody, it happens in Nigeria. There's a white lady that left his country, our country, many years ago when she was a young person and came to Nigeria to come and study a particular river. They do river, there's a river, in that river, they call it Osun River in Nigeria. So this lady came, and to the extent, even she married, she participated, she married one of the priests that are worshiping that river. So it can happen that way. It can just happen also that you just observe something. You make observation. So let me give you an example. As you are here now, you can pick your phone and just look at the kind of pictures you are taking. Even as we are here, please, let's practicalize that. Look at your phones. You have your phone with you. Even if you are using your phone for Zoom, you can still go to your gallery. Go to your gallery. Are you with me? So I will ask you, please just observe it in 1 minute. Go to your gallery. I'm also doing the same thing. I'm looking at my gallery, my picture gallery on my phone. So what can you say about the kind of picture you take? Hello, are you with me? So any observation? So you are observing, looking at it. Maybe you may not have done this before, but just look at it, or your social media, your Facebook, for example. What kind of pictures, what kind of messages are you posting on social media? Can you observe that? So now I want somebody to tell me, what can you see? What can you observe? Okay, yes, Amaya is saying something. Yeah, people are involved. Why in the non-participants, the researcher observes, records information without involving them. Yeah, that is what we just explained. Yes, thank you very much. So let's look at that. Are you looking at the pictures? So what can you say about the pictures? For me, maybe I should start from my own end. Looking at my picture, I can see that I have a lot of pictures about presentation that I've made, about certificates, that I've designed and so on and so forth. So that is for me. So in your picture, what can you say? Yes, Pauline again, are you raising your hand on the previous one? So what is your observation about looking at your gallery of your phone? What can you say? Yeah, anybody can speak, please. You can just unmute yourself. You don't need to raise your hand. So yeah, looking at your phone, what have you observed? Or your social media platform, what have you observed?
I want to comment. So
okay,
I have
please.
a lot of photos on food. I have a lot of photos with my friends from work. Okay. I have photos from my Spotify account, especially because we've been sharing the music we listened to this year.
That's good. So you can see, have you ever thought of this? So with this now, I can see that you are a friendly person, from what you have said, what you have observed, that I think you have about food. You mentioned food. Maybe you like cooking and also taking the picture.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So that is my observation. I want a male to also tell us something now. A man this time around. So what did you observe on your gallery? What have you observed? Do you have a man in this class? Or are you all ladies? Let me see who's the man here. Oh, Moses. Yes, Moses, tell us. Did you observe anything? Moses, yes.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I observed most of my pictures are for my friends and I, and pictures that have been downloaded from the internet.
Okay, picture downloaded from the internet. A picture about what? What kind of pictures? Sorry,
pictures about the World Cup, because that's what's happening, right?
Yes, that's what I'm expecting from you. For a man, I know World Cup, you know that you like sports, football, and with this now, we know the season is of football. So maybe after many years, you're now doing the analysis of your pictures. You know the period where you have more pictures about World Cup. Oh, you know that, oh, this period is World Cup period. So that is like observation. We have just done that now. So even when we get to the other one, you can go further and count the number of pictures about food from the Maureen's picture. from Moses' picture, number of the time you posted things maybe about religion. Maybe if it's more than that of the food, you know, oh, this guy is religious. Or about family, as I said, if you look at my own, I have a lot of pictures about presentation, about certificates, about training, and so on and so forth. I can conclude that, oh, I like trainings, I get involved in presentation. So that is a simple example how you can do analysis. That is where we're going to go later, and also the observation which we have done. So let's look at more definition of participant of observation. You know, it is a systematic description of events, behavior, or artifacts in the society, in the social setting chosen for the study. You know, you systematically describe, and before you can describe this, you have observed, you have involved in that. Describe participants' observation as a primary method used in anthropologists, by anthropologists. I mentioned that anthropologists are those people that do the cultural study. And I gave an example of an anthropologist that her name, she gave herself even a Nigerian name, Aduke. She came right away from the United States of America to Nigeria when she was young to observe how, because they believe that that river, you know, gives people's baby. So she wanted to find out how. And she was part of it. Beyond that, she had even got to marry one of them. Even you can see some people that are the spy or the detectives also do that kind of things. They go and observe maybe how the armed robbers are operating or kidnappers. They get involved. Even they don't mind even sleeping with those people so they can get the information they want to get. So, and another one is the process, enabling researchers to learn how the activities of the people under study in the natural setting through observing and participating in those activities. That is the example I gave. You know, it's not that people want to pretend. You want to feel it, how they are doing this in a natural setting, not in a video or documentary you go and watch. You know, you are there yourself. It's first-hand information of what eyewitness, you are there. So it provides the content for development of sampling guidelines and interview guides. So this is what it is. And we have types of participant observation. We could have a passive participant observation. We could have active participant observation, covert or overt participant observation, and covert or overt participant. These are about 7 of them. So, but mostly, you know, for this, your study you want to do, you focus on like a passive one, and also it could be active. For example, now, the assignment may be for you to understudy the manager of a particular organization. How are they operating? How are they working on a risk management? How are they organizing their press release and so on? And you write about it. So you are involved. Why do we use observation to collect data? Why? You know, even from the definition we've given, you know, you'll be able to have a natural, I mean, the true information, the right information you want to get without being without pretending to identify and guide relationship with informants. So
yes.
you want to, yes.
There is a table, but the table that is there is a
Hello. 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 Who is speaking, please? Hello. Are you asked, please, if you're not talking, you can just mute your microphone. Okay, I'm hearing some noise.
Cream, please mute your mic.
Okay, please, thank you. Yeah, please mute your microphone so that we can have one class. So thank you very much, yeah, for that. Yeah, a minute. Okay. Yeah. So we talk about the reason why we go into we do observation. And number one, we said to identify and guide relationship with informants. Number two, to help the researcher get the feel of how things are organized and prioritize or how people interrelate, in the cultural parameters, to show the researcher what the culture or the cultural members deem to be, important in the manners, in leadership, in politics, social interaction. So you want to feel it yourself, not that, oh, you are reading it. As I said, before you go to that research, because I've done some literature review, you are, oh, this community, they are like this, they like business, this community, that's what I experienced in Nairobi. They said I heard that the Kikuyus, they are into business. They are the one making things happening in terms of business. When you go to the city, to CBD, they have much business there. And we have some tribes also in Kenya. They believe, oh, they are the one. Education, we have seen number of professors, they are there. Also, it's happening in Nigeria. In Nigeria, for example, we have a tribe called Igbos. They are just like Kikuyus. They love business. They are the one that are producing a lot of things in the country. But the Yorubas, which I belong to, education, that's where you see a lot of professors, a lot of people in academics. So you may want to find out, maybe you had it. You can come to Nigeria and be involved. Go to these communities, see how they are performing, how they are doing their businesses, how they are conducting marriage ceremony, and so on and so forth. So with that, not just by reading, you are involved in what they do. You can even study politics of a particular country. When I was in Nairobi, I was involved in the politics, study of politics through Ushaidi's website. I was involved. So I was able to understand the ideology of Baba from Uhuru Kenyatta that period, during the last election. No, not the last one. 2017 election, I was involved. So through this, I'm not just reading, because I was involved. I went to the field, interview people and so on and so forth. This is called participatory observation. You are involved in what they do. Then to help researcher become known to the cultural member, thereby easing facilitation of the research process. So when you become familiar with them, you are involved with them, they will see you as part of them and they will open up to you. Especially there's some research that they are very, very sensitive. It's not that maybe you get there in a month and you want them to just open up to you. No, you must be able to gain, they must be able to gain your trust, that if I tell you this information, you will not use it against me. And how do you gain their interest? Is by being involved in what they do, is by getting closer to them. When they eat chakula, maybe ugali, you also eat ugali with them. When they are taking matoke, you also take matoke with them. Not that you are eating ugali, so no, I can't eat this. Give me pounded yam. No, they will not trust you. Because you are part of them. When they will go to safari and they sleep on the floor, on the mat, you also do that, the same thing with them. So with that one, they will get closer to you and they will to open up to you. I remember when I was schooling in Nairobi, I belonged to a church called Mamlaka East Chapel. So, and we have an outreach where we went to one orphanage. And when we were there, we made chapati for them. I was involved. We made chapati. That was the first time I would join them in making chapati. I won't say that, oh, because I'm a Nigerian, so no, I can't do this, speaking English. No, I was involved with that. I have a lot of people, Kenya, that have interest and trust in me, tell me a lot of things. So that is observation. You need to be involved then in what they do to provide the researcher with a source of question to be addressed with participants. If you are involved with them, for example, now, the way they are performing the ritual, maybe a ritual or a burial ceremony. Because you are involved, you need to ask them questions. Even also about Kenya, I was involved in fundraising. I would go to the the CBD will have a meeting for fundraising. Sincerely, we don't do that in Nigeria. Or maybe for wedding ceremony, they do fundraising. I will go there to see what they do. Also give money to them as well. I was observing, when I came back to Nigeria, when you are getting married, you are on your own. Everything, you can get loan. But in Nairobi or in Kenya, you can see that people will come together, friends, and they will fundraise for you. And if I've not gone to observe that, I won't know that that is what they do. Sorry, please. So before we move on, I want to ask questions. Which other thing, why do you think people do observation? At least from what I've mentioned or what I've not mentioned. I want to hear from you. Observation to collect data. Why? Yes.
Can I go?
Yes. Maureen, please go ahead, please.
Maybe for live feedback that you would not necessarily get when you're going to do your research online, because this is first-hand live feedback that you're getting from your respondents.
Yes, to get a live feedback from your respondent. Thank you very much. Any other person? Not Maureen this time around. Any other person? Why? To you, okay, yes. Suzanne, over to you, Madam Suzanne. Yes.
Yeah, sometimes to also identify opportunities for communication. So for example, like I went to Ghana to do the continuum of care to understand at what point can I communicate to the patient when they're going through, because they're diabetic patients, when they're going through or being enrolled into the program. So I actually participated as a patient in the hospital so that I see the process and identify the different points of communication for the patient when they're enrolling into the program.
Wow. So you traveled from Nairobi to Ghana to do this. And at the end, your experience will not be the same as when you just stay and just read some literature. No.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because you have also to check if the Western and the Eastern side, they all speak Tree. Is that the popular language? Even when you're communicating or translating things, it is popular amongst, let's say, 60% or 70% of the people.
Yeah, that is beautiful one. Sincerely, I know, as I mentioned in the beginning, that people in this class who have been doing research, what we're just doing now to just tell you more, and we can discuss together on how we can do it better, especially in your final paper we're going to write. So let's just watch this video together. Then after watching, then we'll discuss again. Take notes. So what can you say? What did you take from this short video about the observation, participant observation? I will not call name again. If you want to speak, you can just unmute yourself and speak. You didn't take any lesson from the video?
Dr. what I'm noticing is something that we have been doing already. Yes. Maybe we just, I like naming the covert overt idea. And also for some time, like for us in the NGO world, where we have the, let's say, funder sending researchers to come see what is happening on the ground, to give a report to the funder. And they use the covert method where they don't say what they're coming to do, they just observe. Then they just go into the different facilities, healthcare facilities, and just observe how people are being managed, the patients are being managed, and then they write their report. So most of them use the covert method. And for, let's say, our bosses, they'll use the overt method where they actually introduce themselves to the patients, to the clinical officers, and say what they want to do, what they're observing, where they're coming from. So, and that method is very, because people start pretending that they're actually enrolling people into the program, or they pretend that they are actually using the platform. So they start, even sometimes they make mistakes because they're pretending. So I usually see that as a big problem.
Yeah, that's some of the disadvantages also, because the fact is this: you cannot, though covert method is being used a lot, but notwithstanding, you should also ethically, you should also let your participants be aware that you are doing research on them. So from that now, it takes us to what is called ethical conduct when you are doing participant observation. Researcher should fully explain the setting, to the of the project, of what the potential interaction that are involved, how data will be gathered, the kind of issue that might be discussed more formally and detailed as much as possible. Though some people, like I mentioned the issue about the spy. The spy is not research anyway, but they go to a site and they pretend people don't know what they are here to do. Like the lady I mentioned that came to Nigeria when she was young, intentionally, they know that she's on the research, and she was living with them for a long time, for many years. At the end, she didn't go back to her country. She died in Nigeria, and she was told that they should bury her in Nigeria. So that one has gone beyond research anyway. So, and again, that's methodology. For the participant also, in terms of ethic, like your ethics, as you are even working on this, your research now, you must be able to describe the people and reflect on the potential ethical issues that may arise in the context of your research. So as you are planning this research, you look at what may be the ethical issue. For example, now you want to observe maybe teenagers. You are doing something. I've done that one with APHROs in Kenya. We are doing a teenage pregnancy and abortion in Nigeria. And it's a very sensitive case or topic in Nigeria. We had to enter the community through people called community leaders, and they were able to get participants. And we know that the issue is that we cannot just get to a teenager without a consent from the parents. So there's a way. So if you go ahead and you are not following ethical conduct, it's against the rules and regulation of research. Another one is the potential harms. The researcher should expand as much as possible the extent and the variety of potential harms to participants. At times, some research may say, oh, there's no harm. If there's harm in the research, the harm, for example, if like the one I mentioned about abortion, You know, it can cause disunity between parents. There are some ladies that they've done abortion several times and the parent doesn't know, or the church or the community or the mosque doesn't know. So there's a way in protecting the secret or keeping the secret of those people, you know, because the purpose of research is to help them. And we, like that research I mentioned is the issue that we want to make sure that the teenagers, they have access to safe abortion. Because whether we want it or not, these people, they are doing abortion. And because government doesn't support that, they go to unqualified personnel. And at the end, it's leading to a lot of death. Why can't you make it open that they have right to do abortion and safe abortion and they will not die? Than we losing young people, young teenagers, the teenagers to death because of unsafe abortion. So we did that kind of treatment, and we follow all this. The methodology was explained to these people. The participants are adequately informed about the ethical issues involved and also the potential harms that can come to that project. So then again, apart from that, we also have what's called informed consent. It's just similar to what I mentioned. The researcher should elaborate on the appropriateness of the particular informed consent process. And this could be through written or verbal. Especially in a community that are not educated, you must be able to give them the consent verbal in their language they will understand. You interpret it to the language they understand. And for that, for example, you want to use teenager, you can use the community entry personnel, or you can use community leaders to help you to gain entrance to that community. And for this kind of work you do, you want to do your research. For example, now maybe you want to observe your boss and you want to write about it. Make sure you inform your boss that, oh, you want to do this. Don't be like a spy that you are just creeping in and out to find out what is happening. Open up. And with that, you fulfilled all the conditions. Then privacy and confidentiality. Also, this one also is very important. The researcher should provide information about how he or she will safeguard the data once collected and treat sensitive matters sensitive. I mentioned the issue of this, the abortion or people living with HIV. And after you have got a research from them, you publish their names, with their names, it's wrong. So you need to keep what is secret to be secret. And also, who are you sending the data to? Are you selling their data? For example, some of the telecommunication companies, they get our data and they sell it for advertisement. It's wrong. It's not ethical. So it's not ethical. So with this, let's look at this. When you are doing research, there's something called field records. Record information recorded it should be recorded. And when it's recorded, there are some things, some terms that are very, very important into this. So can you see my screen? Let me see. Yeah, let me just play this. Then we conclude from here. Then we can go to the content analysis. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at this together. Please, as we are watching this, keep notes, then I will ask you a question on this. Okay, let me share it again.
Hello. Today, we're going to be talking about your ethnographic research project. In particular, what are field notes, you ask? Well, I'll explain. In ethnographic research, field notes serve as your primary resource. They'll represent you as an ethnographer, and they'll serve as the basis of your research paper.
That's right. They're very important. While at your ethnographic research site, you might see something a little like this.
What are you doing in your notebook, Katie? I'm taking field notes.
That's right. People might actually talk to you. In fact, they'll probably even be able to see you. When you're taking field notes, you're not actually invisible, and you might look something like this. Which brings us to another vital point. It's very important that you have an ethical relationship with your informants.
That's right. You must always let your informants know that they're being observed, that it's for a class project, and that you may or may not use that information in your paper.
Yeah, don't be creepy. Okay, do you understand what field notes are for? Do you understand that you need permission to take field notes? Good. Did you know that there are different types of field notes? Crazy, right?
There are head notes, which you take in your head, jottings, which you write in your notebook, and interviews that you do with another person.
Right. The important part with your head notes and your jottings is that you capture the mood, the textures, the atmosphere, the behaviors of the people in your cultural site. You want to focus on the unique things.
You should be asking yourself, what do the surroundings look like? What do you hear? What do you smell or taste if you're going that route? Is it intellectual? Is it competitive? Is it ritualistic? Is it sexually charged? Let's hope so.
The notes don't have to be perfect, just creative and useful.
In addition to your head notes and jottings, you may want to conduct some interviews in order to bolster your research. Let's look at a few do's and don'ts of interviewing.
Make sure you're prepared for your interview. Know what you want to ask ahead of time. Also, make sure you stay on topic and don't interrupt your subject.
Well, it depends on the event.
Did you know that one time I got to this party? So what do you think about like stuff or like things?
Huh?
Make sure you convey general interest in your interviewee. Be an attentive listener. Let them feel comfortable.
For our interview, do you want to come over and watch Breaking Bad and hang out with my cats?
But not that comfortable.
Once you finish taking your field notes, the next step is to expand and revise them.
Yeah, sorry, I think he's got cracking there. But I believe before he stopped, have you got some lessons from that video? So we talk about field notes. So how can you describe field notes and what are the importance? Why do you need to have field notes when we do the observation? Yeah. So what can you say? This is a question to us. Anybody can answer this. My class is dull today. What happened? People are not speaking. Yes, Joanne, can you tell us something? What have you taken away from this video we watch, or at least, yeah. Or Judy is there. Who again? Moses, my friend, is there. Let's listen to you. Commissioner is there. So we'll talk about feed notes. We'll talk about types of feed notes. You can have head note and so on. Yes, let me listen to you as well.
Doctor, I'm afraid I didn't get to watch the video. My network was not good.
Okay, you didn't watch the video. Okay, any other person? Or all of us, we didn't watch the video. Well, network, Joanne, network is bad. Well, from that video, I will share the video with you when I'm sharing the course content with you. So we can see a lot of things here. We talk about the field note. That is, when you are going for observation, it is very, very important you have a note with you. apart from even if you are doing the recording, you still need to have a note. There are some things that you may observe in the environment, in the surroundings that may not be able to, you can't capture that on video. You know, for example, that lady mentioned, how's the environment? Is it charged? You know, is it convenient? You know, or you ask question, the reaction, nodding of head, you know, that one may not be recorded. So your field note will help you to capture this information. And also from what we also saw in that video is that take permission. Don't be creepy. It was there. Don't be like a spy. You know, you can see that video, somebody coming from behind and be looking. No, just go and let them know what you are doing. You know, the purpose of your research, the ethical involved, and so on and so forth should be explained to people participating in that research. Apart from that, we also talk about preparation. When you are going for field assignments, you need to prepare. You need to prepare, you know, get your materials, the question you need to ask, you know, and again, what you need to observe. So that's the reason why, you know, when you are doing observation, you don't just go and just observe immediately. You know, you need to give time so you can observe and know the kind of question, the kind of things you need to note about the subjects you are studying. And it's part of it that you also capture the mood, you know, of the subjects, the mood. For example, when you ask a question, some question you ask, that person may start crying, be emotional. You know, some you ask question, the person is happy. And again, observation has a lot of advantages. So when you do observation, you know, many people are there together. So you need to observe and compare different people. You know, for example, you can observe a particular, maybe for example, for your study, you want to observe how an organization a company is organizing their press release. You know, what do they do there? What are the activities? What do they put together? No, you are there. When you are there, you are observing many people, not only one person, different activities. From preparation to the actual program to the conclusion of the program. How are they doing it? And you are involved with them as well. You are helping them to write notes, to carry things, you know, to go to the venue. You know, you can even be the repertoire of that program, and you are there to observe. So they may not even know to what extent you are getting that information. When you are involved with them, you're going to get a lot. They will open up to you more than just, oh, you are just somewhere and you have maybe a questionnaire, give them questionnaire. Questionnaire will not do that. You know, that's the reason why qualitative research has more advantages than quantitative. You know, and though many people don't really go there, but at least our profession in communication, in public relations, we make use of qualitative research more than quantitative research. So the next is let's see. Okay, this is still hanging. Okay, let me stop it again and start. So please, as I'm speaking on, if you have any question, you can drop it. You can also raise your hand, or you can even just unmute and ask me a question. Or you want to add points, you want to share a personal experience. So please, you can do that. Okay, let me go back to it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so these are the things, you know, is in the notes. Some of the things I've mentioned when you are keeping, when you are doing recording field notes. Remember who said what and to whom. Note what source, you know. Ask yourself how people in the group engage with one another. You know, pay attention to what structure or authority or the leadership style that exists even among those people that you are interviewing or you are observing. Note what people said in what setting, you know, both as part of the ritual or with each other. So just need to find out, you know, the body language of the people that you are observing or people that you are interviewing. So the next here is the, yeah, I think that is the end for the observation, participant observation. So the next one we are going to go into is the content analysis. But as usual, before we go to content analysis, I would like to ask us, what can you say, or how can you summarize what we have learned in this part, in this lesson, the first part? Yes. What lesson are you taking away from this first lesson? Veronica, I will mention names. Jeddah, Moses, Maureen, anybody can unmute to say this. Sylvia, you are here. Please, let's listen to you. Anybody can just unmute. Hello, we are not taking away anything from this lesson? Yes, Commissioner.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a bit unwell. It's quite refreshing having done this several times, but I also wanted to add that when conducting research, it's also important to observe their ethics, their culture, their do's and don'ts, because sometimes you go to collect data out there and then you ask a question that is considered a taboo. So there is need to do pre-research of what you're going to research on. Okay.
So thank you very much, Commissioner. It's good to have the full knowledge of what you are expecting there, instead of so we waste your time. And as I said, a true literature review and doing a study of the previous work, you can achieve that. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for that. I know you must have done some of this kind of research before. Yes, any other person? A man this time around. You have only one man in this class, Moses. Is he only one man? Yes, Moses, can you tell us something? Well, I think we need to move on. I don't know why we are not that active today. Are you scared of this course or what? This particular topic? Research is very, very interesting. So now we go further now. Let's look at the content analysis. From what you have done in the observation or a secondary data, you can have results from that. And content analysis, as we said, is a research tool which we use to determine the presence of certain words, themes, or concept within some given qualitative data. Now, I mentioned earlier that data is very, very important. It's a very, very important ingredient in research. So now, we can have a data, which is a qualitative data, and we have quantitative. But this content analysis is a research method that we use on qualitative data. For example, data you collected from interview or an existing document or from observation. You get this data and you analyze using maybe counting of the number of words you have there and how these words are interlinked with each other. You look at the themes, you look at the concept within that data. And to analyze the text using content analysis, the text must be coded, it must be broken down into manageable code categories for analysis. So you need to code. For example, now you have seen a document, a novel, you want to analyze it. You look, what are they talking about in this novel? Are they talking about politics? You have a politics in the table. Are they talking about love, or about family, about education? You put it there. So what you need to do when you are reading this, you have your pen and be noting those themes, those words that suggest politics, those words that talk about maybe home and marriages, those words that talk about religion. You note all this. You can use a marker, different color markers. You can use red for marriage, blue for religion, and so on and so forth. I'm just telling you, before we go into deep one, You know, content analysis is like that. And it's similar to what we did when I asked you to look at your phone. Now, let's even do this a small practical. You know, want to look at observation and want to do content analysis. Let me go to my Facebook. Let me just open my Facebook from here, and I want you to observe. What can you observe? And from that, you can just do one or two things. Okay, let's just look at this. Okay, this is a Facebook account. So you can do content analysis on a website, social media site, you know, and so on and so forth. So let me try to share my screen again. You know, you can see even if they are interlinks, observation and content analysis. You know, you observe something, you have a content, then you analyze. Okay, yeah. Let me see. Okay, so it's coming up. As I was saying, the other time, you can see, oh, how many times Moses took picture or download picture about sports, about home, about food. So with that, you can now see in total that, oh, Moses doesn't like food. He likes sports. Or the other person, is it Irene, likes like this and that. So if you look at I think you can also see my Facebook page. So I want us to do a practical before we go into the theory. Yeah, look at this page. What can you see about Ayodele John Alonge's page? So let me just see if I can go home. Please, all of you, please take note of this now. We want to do observation now. We want to observe a social media. And after observing, then we want to make a conclusion based on your observation and do a content analysis of what you have seen. Okay, let me see. So I hope you are looking at the way I'm scrolling. Okay, let me see. I don't know why it's not going to home. The network is somehow. Okay, yes. It's not showing properly, but you can, on your own Facebook, you can just search for this. You'll be able to see more about me. It's at least, well, yeah, it's coming up now. Okay, so even with this short thing, or if you have gone online to see me, what can you just say about Alonge? What can you say in what you have seen on the social media? Or if you find out about somebody, Google about somebody, what can you say? What can you observe? Yes. Hello. I think I should be calling names. Isabel, what can you say? Judy. Ashley. Okay. Judy. Okay.
What can I say about your page?
Yeah, just look at the pictures.
You have a lot of friends, very social, and yeah, okay, yeah, those are the ones I'll see.
Yeah, so that is a observation now. A lot of friends, and you can go deep and open the number of the friends. See how many male How many female? At that point, we are doing content analysis. How many males does Alonge has as friends? How many females? Or how many, what is their age range? You know, if the elderly people, oh, he likes friends with elderly people. Too many ladies, oh, he likes ladies. He has a lot of friends. Or how many of them are communication officers? How many of them are lecturers? How many of them are students? You are bringing it down and analyzing the content of what you have seen. At the end, you have you form an opinion about Alonge. So any other observation before we move
on? I think, Doctor, let me try. Moses here.
Okay, Moses, thank you, sir.
When I look at the menu on Facebook, the groups that you're in, I see Ibadan Used Cars, Ibadan Marketplace. Then I see somewhere ECWH, Apple, Ibadan. So I get to see probably the interests you have. That probably if you have something as a shortcut to ECWH, Apple, Ibadan, then I know you're prayerful.
Yeah.
And then I also see the University of Nairobi somewhere, and so that shows that either you're a lecturer or you're into studying and all there.
Yeah. You see, that is about content analysis. You don't need to see or ask questions from that person before you can, you can conclude, or you can form an opinion about that. Truly speaking, Moses got that. ECWA is my church in Nigeria, and I'm like one of their social media administrator. I post a lot of things about that. And my university is University of Ibadan. Things about my university, and my alma mater, which I'm proud of, University of Nairobi. I have things about that as well. So through that, you can just conclude, oh, this guy, you can see he has done that. Is this, he has interest. And marketplace also, I'm a businessman too. I sell and buy things online. So through somebody's social media page, you can find out what that person is. That is observation. You can now go further and analyze that content. With that content, you can now form an opinion, just like what Moses and the other lady did, about my site. So, for example, even on this work you are doing, on this assignment you'll be doing, you may not even ask questions from your boss. You may just go to the kind of emails he has been sending to you, or the kind of things people have written about him on a journal, on a newspaper, to form opinion and write something about that person. So that is another way. So we've looked at the definition, more definition. Okay, before we go to more definition, let's see. We're going to look at the uses of content analysis, types, readability and validity, advantages, and so on and so forth. We've looked at the definition already. So let's look at advantages and disadvantages of content analysis. As you can see from the screen there, number one, we say practical. It is practical, easy access, low cost, and not very time consuming. To do the analysis, just see what we have done now. If I ask you to write 10 pages on Ayodele John Alonge, just go to his website. You can't write it. True of us. And many of us that we are in the media or we are in the public relations, we rely a lot on our online presence or online presence of our targets or people that we are projecting, so you can go online and form opinion about that. That's the reason why, our organization, I think I've taught you the issue of risk management before in this class. That's the reason why our image online, we call it a digital footprint, is very, very important, because when you are not there, when you are not available, people will form opinion. They will conclude about you based on what they have seen. So it's very practical, and no issues surrounding ethics. It's easy, unlike that of observation, whereby you need to find about ethics. Here, you don't have anything to do about ethics. Just look, the person is the one that put it there. And when you write about that thing, without you diluting it or adding your own points, maybe to water it or to give a fake news about that person, you have not done anything bad. So if you objectively, you have done the content analysis of a document, you've read, you've noticed things, you've written the number of times some words are mentioned, holistically, without putting some fake or some wrong things into it, you don't have any issue about ethics. Then again, I will tell you that content analysis that is properly done is reliable, very, very reliable. It's as simple as that. Even that pictures you check when we see that, what's the name of the lady? Okay. Yeah, okay, I will read that of a Syria. Yeah, well, she said she likes, she has picture of food, she has family, and if I conclude that, who is that person that mentioned that? What's the name? I think is it? Sorry, I want to get the name so I won't go with somebody like that. I think it's Maureen. It's Maureen. Yes, am I correct? Yeah, it's Maureen that told us about pictures about food. If I conclude, Maureen, likes eating a lot. There's nothing wrong in that.
No, it was not me.
Okay, who's that person? Yeah, I'm asking.
It wasn't me. Someone else.
Yeah, is this Susan? I think it's Susan.
No.
So who talked about food the other time?
It was me.
What's the name? Judy. Yeah, Judy. Yeah. Well, thank you. With this now, I engage you to talk. People, I don't know why you don't want to talk in the class today. It's too early. Is it cold in Nairobi today?
It is.
Maybe cold is affecting you, but here it's not cold here. It's just 8 a.m. here. I know it should be around 9 a.m. Is it 9 a.m. in Kenya? So, yeah. So as I was saying that, you can conclude on that. Now, as I mentioned also, highly reliable, then does not rely on participants, so no issues with response. People are not responding to me like you are not responding to me in the class today. People are not responding. Here you deal with documents, you deal with websites you have seen, you deal with what you have written down. So response is not an issue of a problem here. So then again, a positivist will argue that quantitative data collected allow for statistics, comparison, trends, and pattern. So when you collect quantitative data, you can also do some statistical analysis on it in one way or the other. And it gives you room to be able to compare what they have collected using survey with what you have collected using observation. And you are now doing content analysis of it. That is where we have mixed method. Somebody mentioned that mixed method. You can mix method when you are doing this. Yes, I can see Esiri. Esiri mentioned that if I made my deduction from someone's social media pages and included it in my research without asking for permission, would that be unethical? That's the question. I made my deduction from someone's social media pages and included it in my research without asking for permission. Would that be unethical? It's not unethical. It's not. Because by the time you are having your reference, you are going to put the source is from his website. And who built the information on the website? Is the person. So the only thing is that make sure you reference that all this information I've got is not from my head. I didn't cook the information. It's from this site, and you put the link there. And you have not given a wrong information to mislead other people, if the information you have given is right, it's okay. That is how I will answer that one. Yeah. So let's look at the disadvantages. Data collected depends on the researcher's own interpretation. Yeah. So you can decide to, that is one now. your interpretation about my website may not be what I like. I may not like it. It may not, why do you say, John Alonge, because he has a lot of ladies' pictures and a lot of ladies as friends. Yeah, we conclude that, oh, he's a womanizer. I may not like that, but you have the reason for saying that. So that is like a disadvantage because it's your own interpretation. And you get what I'm trying to say now. So one researcher may view a word as a negative, whereas another man may view it as negative, as positive. Let me give an example. Now, because you've seen a lot of ladies in my social media platforms, so is a womanizer. Another say, oh, this person, is he, what do you call it? Feminist. So is a two-way thing. It's a feminist. It's true that he's protecting the rights of women. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's the judgment is relative, and also it depends on the interpretation of the researcher. Then another one is interactionist. Yeah, interaction. Now, what we mean by this is that we criticize that lack of qualitative data. A researcher may be able to state that a film portrays women in a certain way, but cannot say why and how women feel about this. So what we are saying now is this: your judgment also is very, very debatable. You see a lot of criticism in whatever you are saying. But with these two disadvantages, we cannot conclude that you cannot say content analysis is not good. She said it's very, very good. There's no, even for the people that are doing analysis, a survey and so on, they have a lot of disadvantages as well in statistics. There may be error of interpretation and so on and so forth. So I still believe that, and I still stand that content analysis is very, very good, and especially to the kind of research we do, in social sciences, in the communication, in information studies, or in project management, and also in public relations. So it is very, very important. So we've seen more definitions here, and let me use this one because this definition of content analysis was they analyze it. You say it's a study of media. It is a study of text. It counts the number of occurrence of something in a media. The media may be traditional media, like newspapers, like magazines. It could be a social media like Facebook, TikTok, or Twitter. You can analyze Twitter, what people have tweeted about Ebola or about COVID-19 over the period of 1 year. What are they saying? What is the view of people? You may now conclude that, oh, people believe that COVID-19 is not real. It's just a way to depopulate Africa. Well, you can say, oh, it is real. It depends on your opinion. And that opinion will be backed by what you see on the media. For example, let's say, e.g., a Disney movie, and counting how many times the male character is presented as the hero. You can say that, oh, in this movie, over the period of 5 years, all their heroes are female. Or in the African magic that we watch, Nigerian movies, how many times are they portraying about a ritual? It happens a lot. I know, because of the content analysis that many people did about Nigerian movies, they may conclude that Nigeria culture is full of ritual. True or false? Oh, they may feel, oh, Nigeria, they have big, big houses. When I was in Nairobi, I heard a lot about that. Gas, they have big, big houses. And based on the movies, and it may be right, it may be wrong. And again, another one is that after listening to Donald Trump press conference and counting how many times he called CNN fake news. You can say, oh, you want to analyze how many times is the former president of America called CNN fake news. You know, with that, you can now conclude that, oh, this man has bias for CNN and maybe he's supporting another media. So it uses secondary data which already exists. That's another definition of a content analysis. It makes use of already exists data. It's not a new data, but it is a form of primary research. As you, the researcher, are the first person to collect this specific data in that form of a tally. So actually, you may be using secondary data, but by the time you take that data and you analyze on it, that your analysis has become primary data because you are the one that has maybe the first time you'll be having a perspective about that data. So now there's something
I have a
which
question.
Okay, please ask.
Yeah, still on the secondary data bit. This is Jenny.
Okay.
If
Yes.
we are told, now I'm going in our academic, what we are doing, if you're told to only do secondary research, then will this be a secondary research since we already use the secondary data? Can we do this as our research? If you're told just do secondary research or use secondary research data to analyze?
Yes, because what we are using is an existing document, maybe in the magazine or on a radio station, in the TV. You are analyzing what people said, and you are now putting your opinion then to form a professional view. So it's a secondary data you are using. So, but what I'm trying to say is that at the end, your document will be the primary data. Because you are coming with a new original document. The document you are coming in with is not copied. It's an original work, but you pin it on the secondary data you are using, the magazine, the newspaper, and so on.
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay?
The second question, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good.
I love that. Second question. I like people asking questions. Please ask, please.
Maybe I'm also interchanging this in my head. I'm not still quite sure of quantitative and qualitative. It's still confusing me a bit. Maybe as you go on, you could clarify it again.
Okay, yes. I will clarify, I will speak more on that qualitative data and quantitative data, quali and quanti. So let me conclude on this. Let's look at this. This is a key. Please remind me, as I'm concluding, I will explain more on qualitative data and quantitative data. Now, actually, I've mentioned that, okay, let me just say one thing about it. Data that you collect is just a simple one, using survey. Survey, you give people questionnaire, say yes to this, how many times, low, down, very, very good, the lecture is poor, very, very poor, and so on and so forth. And you now subject it to statistical analysis using maybe SPSS or some other statistical tools, is known as quantitative. Quanti. Because you just get people at random, you put them together and say, okay, fill this questionnaire. You are not interviewing, you're not asking them questions, directly by jotting anything or by recording anything. Fill. Yes, I do this every day, often, quite often, lowly, and so on, and you mark. And you now analyze and you now form a decision. It's called quantitative data, quantity. But quality, which is quality, is where you collect data using a form of interview, observation, and yes, observation or interview. You interview whether it is group interview or individual interview. That group is called, I think, what's the name again? I always forget this. I will remember. Whenever you gather everybody together in a particular place and try asking, focus, thank you very much. Focus group discussion, FGD. It could be FGD, whereby they are there. You just select people, key people, and ask them questions. And you can also say just individual by a phone call or a video, or you go there and ask them, or you look at existing document like a video. I did that during during COVID-19. I did a research on the use of Nollywood movies. You know, what are the content on Nollywood? No, we just watch movies, different movies, and we do content analysis of this. That one is called qualitative data. Quality. We have quantitative and qualitative. Quantity, we have just see quantity, many in numbers, and that is a survey. While quantitative, no, qualitative is talking about having interview, having observation, focus group discussion, and so on. I don't know if that one is a little bit understandable now. Morning.
Thank you. It was Eunice. Thank you.
Yeah, Eunice, sorry. I will also follow. So look at this. These 5 C's are very, very important in the content analysis. The first one is the contents, the categories, the code, and also the count, and also conclude. So even looking at this, let's just look at what we did about our phone's pictures. That's the illustration we did, or what we did about my Facebook account. Number 1, you get the content. The content is a gallery, the phone gallery. The content is Facebook. Then you now look at what are the contents, what type of contents here? We have football, in Moses one, football, we have picture of our family. In Judy, we have about food, about colleagues. So that is, you look at that content, you are checking on the content on the gallery. Then you now do the categorization of this content. You categorize that, which we are doing. Food, sports, professionalism, religion. Alonge is always on Equa. It's talking about Alma Mater, about also Nairobi and so on. You now list that. That's category. Then after that, you now code these things. You bring a kind of a particular word from that. You can say, things about religion, you can just say religiosity is the code you have given to that word. And also you can have a color. That code is known for red color. Oh, about family. Oh, blue. You put it aside. Oh, about food. About relationship, you also code that one. So after that, you start counting how many times do you have all this? How many times do they mention this in the link with this? And at times you use synonyms here. But as some word, if you quote some word maybe about religion, and in the word they may not mention it as religion. They can just talk about, oh, the person goes to church every day. It's religion. They don't necessarily need to mention religion before you know. We just look at the context of that content. So after that, after counting, then you conclude. In your conclusion is when you now start writing your opinion about what you have done. Your opinion about what you have done. So even before we go into that, I've just tell you that is how content analysis is done. Your assignment now, you may get a newspaper. You want to get a newspaper about Ebola time in Nairobi, and what is the communication unit sector doing about it. Now you go to the archives of those newspaper. Maybe you want to look at the Nation newspaper or Nairobian, comparing the two newspapers together. So which one says much about Ebola or about COVID-19 or about election or about the fire that always come up in some hostels, boarding hostels in Nairobi. So you compare. You know that Nairobian will be trivializing making it like a joke, like a entertainment. But the nation will be more serious about it. You want to compare how they are working on this. So look at the content, you categorize, you code, you count, that's analysis. Then you now write on it, which is conclusion. You know, even if you stop here, I think to me, I've explained it. But let's move forward further. So the content, as we said, choose the content you are going to be analyzing. For example, newspaper, TikTok, or WhatsApp content. What are the WhatsApp messages that are posting on this group? You know, and so on and so forth. Speech of a president or President Dr. Ruto in Kenya. I want to analyze his first speech after he became the president of Republic of Kenya. You know, and so on and so forth. So you can do this and this content analysis. I've mentioned that. Then you categorize, as I mentioned. You are going to analyze this content you collect quantitatively. You know, to collect. You know, to do this, you must select categories that you are going to focus on. You know, it could be maybe gender, it could be ethics, it could be religion, age, and so on and so forth. How is gender represented in the movie? How is gender represented in the news? In in Nairobi, you know, who are those people really? Trending, you know, trending in the news in a particular country. You can find out this as well. So we look at this now. Then coding. So as you categorize, as your category is general, the codes needs to be specific. These are the specific things you are looking out for in the content you are analyzing. So for example, now I say, oh, we want to look at religion. Oh, you want to see, maybe on gender. Oh, we want to see male, female. Then you go deeper. Are you looking at maybe the female that are married or that are not married, or you want to look at single mothers? You analyze further. Oh, so in education, single mothers are performing better than married women. Why? You make the reason. You know, as a result, can conclude, oh, married women are always very busy, or chasing their husband around. Maybe they are dating somebody else. But a single lady or a single mother doesn't care about that. You know, he has his life. As a result, she concentrates on her study, and she's making it more. So, and one thing is this, in your analysis, your experience also matters in the way you conclude about things. Your background matters. Your knowledge, your educational knowledge also matters in your conclusion. For example, the way I'm going to see a particular content will not be the same way, it will not be the same. Somebody that is into business, maybe the person is not an academic, is a seller, maybe is a matatu owner in Nairobi, we see another, and we don't see the same way. So my knowledge, my experience will help to form how I'm going to analyze a particular content. That's the reason why when you are doing content analysis, you don't just do it alone. You know, mostly research. You know, after you have done it, you can also give somebody to help you to look at it again in another perspective. This will give you a focal point for your analysis. That is coding. So another one, yeah, we have about 2 types of analysis. We could have a conceptual analysis. We could have relational analysis. As just the name implies there, when we say conceptual analysis, this determines the existence or the frequency of content in a text. So it's look at text, just the number of texts, how it has been mentioned. But you now need to go further. You do what's called relational, just as it says, examining the relationship among concepts. You want to see the relationship between culture and gender. In this document that I've seen, or the movie I'm watching, female dominates. They are the one always being the major actors. Why? You can ask, oh, in Nigeria or in that culture, maybe the Igbo land, they really respect female opinion than male opinion. So you can now give that. You can compare, do comparison of how many of these and why this, and you now look at the background of where that content is coming from. That is examining the relationship among concepts in a text. So as we are concluding, I have others in this note. The content you can look at, I will not dwell much on this because I will give it to you, you can read later, because it's maybe over your, not over your level, you don't need it at this, but I'll just go to the how you analyze the results. So after you have done the content, you have done the categorization, you have also done the coding, you need to analyze these results. So you need to draw conclusion and do generalization where possible. You determine what to do with the irrelevant or wanted information. No, when you are doing analysis, there are some things that you may not need, but you have pointed them. But later, after you streamline your objective, while you are doing this research, you discard some information that you don't need. Though, and again, at the end, as I mentioned, you need to re-examine, ignore, or reassess the coding scheme. And this can be done by third party. Somebody in the research, somebody, for example, you are doing research, can give it to me. Dr. John, help me to check this again. Are my coding in line? Or are the themes I'm selecting, is it in line with the objective of this study? So that is analysis. Then you now you interpret the results carefully. As conceptual content, analysis can only quantify the information. Typically, general trends and patterns can be identified. In everything you have done, you can generalize. Oh, as a result, I've looked at Moses' phone. He has a lot of pictures about the World Cup. I look at John, which is me. I have a lot on football. I look at Judy. Judy has a lot of food and family. And also, I look at that of the commissioner, food and all this. You can conclude that, all male love football, which may not be the case. For information, I don't like football at all. I don't watch. You can just conclude that majority, about 80% of male students love football. And because of what you have done, you have done the content analysis and that, and you can generalize. Then, and you can also, in your interpretation. So that is the conclusion, in data analysis. We have some advantages, which we mentioned. It's more elaborate here, and also some disadvantages of content analysis as also here. For your information, all this I mentioned can be done manually. And even what I've taught you right now is a manual way of analyzing. You know that we also have some software that can do this. How many of us have heard about NVivo? I know that lady in health communication, because I've seen this. NVivo. Have you seen that before? Anybody here that have heard about NVivo, the software, before? Anybody? Yes, nobody. Are you sure? Well, NVivo is a software that helps doing the content analysis of the qualitative data. So it's not free anyway. You need to pay for it. I used to have it when I was doing my PhD. I did my PhD under APHRC in Kenya. And they gave us this software, Kata. So you can go online to find out about this software on that link over there. Then there's one which is called Atlas. That one is not free also. The only one that is free here is R. R is a Python-based software, is a programming software for analysis. So I have it here. I have it on my laptop here. You need to have the knowledge of Java to be able to use this. So one good thing about this here, we have some expert that has knowledge of all this, which you can contact to guide you in the use of all this. So the installation of the app, if you want to install, you can follow this process. So thank you very much. This is the end of this class today on content analysis and also participants observation. We first talked about participant observation. We watch a video, about 2 of them, and also we did a practical of looking at your content, your phone, and you analyze. It's similar, this same way we use is similar to how you are going to do your assignment. When you have the assignment, you have a newspaper to review. Go through this newspaper, get your marker, look at your categories. After that, turn your categories to quotes, and you'll be able to interpret it and make analysis of it and make a conclusion. So thank you. Before let's open the floor. Before we open the floor to questions, so let me ask you, on this second part of the lesson, what are you taking away from this now? Yes. Or what can you say? Maybe addition, or yes, or question. If question can also come. Yeah, you can ask question. Yes. I think I need to call names now. Barbara, I'm just seeing you. Are you just coming? Please, what is the lesson? I think it's about 2 or 3 of you should be able to say something. Or if you have not taken any lesson away, you can also tell me that maybe you didn't gain anything. You have right to say that as well. Barbara, over to you. Is she here? Okay, Eunice.
Yeah, you've given us a lot on how to do the content analysis. So at least a step-by-step way of getting to your conclusion. So it will really help us when we are doing our analysis on how to get to the conclusion, basically. And also using the use of the software to help you in doing that. It will be an interesting part to see how that can be done. We'll see whether we can go to install them. So yes, and you also did a lot of explanation on the difference between qualitative and quantitative, so I appreciate that too.
Okay, thank you. Who is that? Who spoke now?
Eunice.
Oh, Eunice, thank you very much, Eunice, for that comment you have made. And I'm glad that you also mentioned that at least you got 1 or 2 points that will assist you or that will enable you to do your assignment when it comes. Thank you, Eunice. Any other person or question? If you have a question to ask. Joanne.
Yeah, okay, yes, so I managed to get a deeper understanding of qualitative and quantitative as well. Then the 5 C's of content analysis, getting deeper into the content analysis, that is through the categories, then the coding bit of understanding exactly what is specific and going deeper into it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Joanne. Sincerely, on a lighter note, do you have only 1 male in this class? Only Moses? Hello? Hello? Talk to me. Who is the class rep? How many male do you have in this class?
I know of 2, at least.
Okay, 2. Okay. So I can conclude also from observation that PR is more of female profession. True of us. true
Yeah.
or false?
Yeah, given
Yes.
true. Given the statistics that you have here in class, true.
Wow, that is a data and content analysis. We've analyzed the contents now. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone. But I'm not happy that you are not that active today. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe because of the weather over there, or you are scared about this topic research, or you are looking ahead. Oh, that assignment, it seems very difficult. Research is not difficult, and that your assignment is not difficult. You can make it. If you apply some of the knowledge we've learned today, you can do original work that even when they check it online on Turnitin, they will see the originality in it. So please, and this meeting is recorded, it will be shared. And that the YouTube also is a private one for me. Actually, the coordinator mentioned that they have it's recorded that can be shared, but I prefer checking it on a private YouTube. I mean, YouTube. It's better for me. That's the reason why I did it personally. But if you need it, I can share with you when I'm sharing the content with you. So once again, I want to say a good time for you. Happy New Month. I will give thanks to God for seeing the last month of the year. And Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year in advance. I may not see you or meet you before the New Year. Bye for now. Or do I have any question? If there's any question, please ask question. If you don't, I think you can close. Thank you.
Thank you.